EDM remix so much that they want to hear it slowed down even more so that they can really get every single terrible note that this person put on YouTube? Is that what you want? Well, listen, as Auntie says, ask and ye shall receive. That was so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. Oh my God, it's all red powder. Oh my God, my entire room is filled with red powder. I thought that it was going to be fucking confetti. Oh, that's really bad. Anyway, my name is Auntie Semitism. I'll deal with that later. The pleasure is all yours. How's everybody feeling? Woo! Yeah, that music, that incredible music was shared with the world by a producer called the 9/11 Feel Good Maestro. So that's making me proud to be an American today. Can I hear a chant of USA? USA! 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 I'm talking Jewish states of America. That's New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Tri-States, my states, bitches! Woo! That footage of us chanting USA do a lot of damage in the wrong hands, so nobody is allowed to share that with Alex Jones. Promise, Pinky? Pinky, promise? Oh, I lost a ring. My whole room is covered in red dust. I cannot believe my literal life. Anyway, welcome to Gay Jews Destroy America! Anti-Semitism versus Uncle Sam! And currently, if you judge by the color of my room, Uncle Sam is winning. But we have an amazing lineup. We're some comeback kids here with you tonight. And we are so excited to present to you a lineup of gay people brave enough to be Jewish and Jewish people brave enough to be gay, even in July. Can I hear it from anybody who's still gay in July? Woo! We've got gay women, and I think we're kind of like 100% she hers this evening. Is that true from my comics? Is anybody like a sleeper she they? No, I think we're 100% she hers, which is brave. That's feminism, I would say. And but boys, don't get worried, because Auntie also has a little something for you. She brought hot dogs. Woo! Where the beef boys at? Who? Let me hear from 100% kosher beef boys. Woo!
Boy.
Hebrew national, baby. Listen, I'm no
All right.
Hebrew nationalist, but you've got to give the Zionists credit where it's due, because in terms of hot dogs, Hebrew National is the fucking shit! You're talking to me about Nathan's famous? Sit down! America is a Hebrew nation, not a Christian Nathan! And I'm gonna eat my kosher meat too till I can't sit up straight. But enough of this pro-American mashuggis. You paid for a takedown of this fakachta country, and boy, does Auntie, 1 second, I have to swallow. Does Auntie have a fucking wild ride for you? Okay, everyone, please repeat after me. We will.
We will.
We will.
With more koyach. We will.
We will.
We will.
Make America.
Make
Make
America.
Make
America.
America.
Wish.
What?
Wish. It never let us in.
It never
It
let
never
us
let
us
us
in.
in.
In the first place.
In the first
That
place.
works a lot better on text than it does over voice. We will make America wish it never let us in the first place. And tonight, I have a truly special gift for you. You're not even ready for the kinds of things that Auntie has done for you this evening, because I'm going to reveal the biggest way that Jews are actively destroying America right now. But first, I have to start at the beginning. Okay, so Jews have been destroying America ever since we got here. We've been being Jewish, first issue, which is not Protestant, not Calvinist, way fewer buckles. And then when we came in big for the first time, okay, when we got on the scene in one big drove of 3 million immigrants all at once around 1900 to come work in their sweatshops, we didn't just bring our nimble little Semitic sewing fingers. We also terribly brought our nimble little Semitic minds, and which were filled with ideas like workers are better than bosses, and that goes against the American Constitution. And they brought us in to make their triangle shirtwaists in their factories or whatever, not to destroy their Constitution, but they had to let us vote and fuck everything up. Why? Because we were men. And in 1776, all these rich goyim gathered around and said, all men are created equal. And obviously, one of the slave-owning ones chirped up and said, not all men. And that was the first time that anyone had said not all men. And it's been a terrible thing to say ever since. But back to the matter at hand. Were Jews even men? Because most of the Jewish men were feeble little bookworms with limp wrists who had never seen the sun, okay? Jewish women, now those were men, even though they were supposed to be women. They were butches, svelte, big, fat, beautiful butches, every single one of them with a kid in one arm and with the other one fisting each other to completion and running the family grocery business so that the poor little men could do the very important work of fucking reading the same goddamn fucking book over and over and over again their entire goddamn lives. Very important. And this is why every Jewish person here today is gay. It's because your grandfather was a nerdy faggot and your grandmother was a big old dyke. And that's just what it means to be a Jew. But nothing, not the socialism, not the Semitism, not the transgenderism, not the Hollywood, not the banks, not the perfectly good triangle shirtwaists that we set on fire and ruined like fucking idiots. Nothing the Jewish people has ever done has destroyed America more than this. Oh, one second.
One 877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1-877 cars for kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1-877 cars for kids. Donate your car today.
Jews are responsible for cars for kids. And I'm not sure that you're even ready for what I mean when I say Jews are responsible for cars for kids. But in order to tell you this full story, I need you all to do one more repeat after me, okay?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Please say, we will not.
We will not.
We will not
Tell the Goyim
tell the Goyim
anything
anything
about this
about
this
at all.
At all.
at all.
Okay. We're all promised and done up. Okay. So, now that you're all signed a verbal NDA, I am going to share with you how Jews are responsible for cars for kids, the worst possible way that Jews have destroyed America. So, I'm just going to show you the whole thing. I wish I didn't show you the preview. Try not to read. But that's just, I'm not that tech savvy. So, the kids in Cars for Kids are Jews! This is from their website. We're a national Jewish nonprofit providing mentorship, educational support, and nurturing year-round environments for Jews, okay? Because this commercial is actually for Jews. It's Cars for Kids is based in Lakewood, New Jersey, the most Jewish possible place it could be based. It funds Jewish summer camps by funneling 95% of its money to URA, which is a Kiruv organization, okay? I know I'm sounding like Charlie Day in It's Always Sunny with all the links, but this is all actually true facts. Cars for Kids, 95% of its money goes to an organization that tries to make Jews more Orthodox. And if you're like, hey, that doesn't appear in the commercials, you're thinking like the states of Oregon and Pennsylvania, because they've been sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars by these states who are like, wait, you're fucking Jews? The kids are Jews? Like just Jews? And they're like, yeah, it's just Jews. And they're like, we're gonna sue you over it. And they spend 50% of their money on that they don't give away. So they only give away 50%. 95% of that is to Orthodox. The other 50% they just spend on ads and admin, just giving to themselves and investing in real estate, including a Ponzi scheme where they lost $8 million in the most Jewish possible way in a real estate Ponzi scheme. Not only this, they stole $300,000 of their own scholarship funds. They, according to the federal government, committed tax fraud. They spend $500,000 a year in legal fees to deal with all this. And if you're like, well, how much money could they have actually gotten? $100 million people have given in the form of money and cars to this organization, which just secretly takes goyish money and gives it to the fucking Jews. And who is it run by? Who is it run by? As if from a fucking comic book, Eliyahu Mintz. As in Eliyahu bank money. Eliyahu make money off these fucking goyim. It's like as if it's fucking Like, Cars for Kids is like an anti-Semite's wet dream. It's unbelievable. And if you're talking about gay Jews destroy America, these Jews are destroying America. $100 million a year to Orthodox summer camps without any notice. Unbelievable. But now you're talking about, are they, yes, they're Jews destroying America, but are they sexually deviant Jews destroying America? Yes, they are, because here's one last thing, and then I'm going to pass it off to my comedians. So, 1877 Cars for Kids, okay? You might be like, that's the one part I don't get. How did these Orthodox Jews come up with such a catchy Goyish single? And the reason is that they actually didn't write that single for Cars for Kids. It is a rewrite of a song by a man named Country Yossi, who's like Weird Al Yankovic for the Orthodox. And he wrote a song called The Little Kinderlach, and I'm going to paste the lyrics in the chat, and you're going to give it a little listen and tell me if you can recognize it.
It's not gonna be the businessman or the wealthy man or the famous man, oh no. It's gonna be the little Kinderlach, the little Kinderlach. It's gonna be the little Kinderlach who makes Moshiach come. It's gonna be the little Kinderlach, the little Kinderlach. It's gonna be the little Kinderlach who makes Moshiach come. The little boy who goes to yeshiva and learns Hashem's Torah and tries to understand, he'll make him come.
And so it just keeps going on like that, where over and over and over again throughout the song, they say the lines, the little boy, ... he'll make him come. The little girl, ... she'll make him come. And then over and over again, it's like the little Kinderlach, they're going to make Mashiach come. I'm sweating now. But that's most of what I wanted to tell you. Do you realize why not a single goy besides the states of Pennsylvania and Oregon is allowed to know about the fucking Kinderlach and Mashiach? Yes, you understand this? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a way, and I feel like we can take inspiration as sexually deviant Jews trying to destroy America. These people are destroying it. $100 million siphoned off to Jewish day camps at a time. That is something that I hope over the course of the rest of this amazing evening of comedy together, that we can be inspired to reach such levels in our communities today. Please give it up to Cars for Kids, an unproblematic organization, just trying to bring Jews back and Mashiach, just trying to make Mashiach come. So that's been my intro to this. Thank you so much. My name's Auntie. I've just kind of started by screaming at you, and now I'm going to pass it off to other gay Jews who are also going to talk to you, and other maybe screaming, maybe not screaming. And these are going to be the 5 amazing comedians that you have coming for you tonight. Please give it up for all of them. Woo! And here are just some quick rules. Use the chat. We're going to unmute you. Currently you're all muted, but we'll unmute you if we need to crowd work you or anything. You are expected to tip, because I am a drag queen and this is a drag show. 50% of all tips will obviously be going to Cars for Kids, and you can just donate there as well. And I think that's about it. Oh, yeah, and the tips, they don't actually go to the comedians, they just go to me. They help cover the cost of all the people who got free tickets and still wanted to see a comedy show. So, if you want to help me pay the comedians good, that's what that does. Okay, and lastly, the last rule, as we say at every show, is be gay,
Be gay.
don't be not gay,
Don't be not
and
gay.
are you ready
Are
for
you?
your first comedian? Woo! Well, this is one of 5 she-hers you have promised for you tonight. She's a bad fucking bitch from New York City. Please give it up for Aviva Pearl!
Yeah.
Hi everybody. Chodesh Tov. It's so nice to be around so many gay Jews. It's crazy. I feel like I'm back at synagogue right now. Um, I actually grew up like kind of Orthodox, like conservative, but like Orthodox, And people always like assume they're like, oh, it must have been this like big culture shock, like when you transitioned, when you entered this like new world. But like, being Orthodox in Berkeley and being trans in New York City, really similar, like mostly just running into people you had public sex with at like the wrong moments. Like I was just back there, right? And I'm walking down the street with my parents who are in the audience. Hello. Um, anyway, I was walking back there with them and I see this guy and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that man's circumcision looks like. Like, and I know it's not pretty, right? Like that was not a good mohawk. But we're just walking by, I have to be like Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Hmm.
And it wasn't always easy in this community, like I faced a lot of discrimination, but also I lost my virginity in that synagogue. So it really gave as much to my queer experience as it took away. Like,
Hmm.
my parents, they used to have to force me to go to synagogue. But after my bat mitzvah, when I started sucking dick in the bathroom, girl, I was there every week. Every week, 10 a.m. Sukkot I was there. Um, anyway, now I'm a Hebrew teacher, so it all sort of like works out in the end. And my parents like are not super proud of me about this, right? Because yeah, like exactly. I love the chat is you guys are very witty. Um, Anyway, my parents like aren't so happy that I'm a Hebrew teacher, like not the career path they wanted for me. And also like I don't really oh, they love me. I love them too. Um anyway, not really the career path, like the ideal career path because I like don't really speak Hebrew. And like my mom, like when I told her I was gonna be a Hebrew teacher, she's like you don't speak Hebrew, like how can you do that? And I was like, well, like like I do speak Hebrew, like my Hebrew is fine. She's like, no, like you're not a professional Hebrew teacher, like you're just a professional shakranit. And I was like, what is that? And she's like, oh, it's like Hebrew for liar, but like you didn't know that, did you? And I was like, oh, well, it's because I always translate that word as like entrepreneur. Uh, it's just really a mistranslation on her part. Anyway, I love you, Ema. I work at a Hebrew school too, and like that's easier honestly because it's just like you have to like teach the kids how to like cut a menorah out of construction paper. And so I get all my friends' jobs there, right? And lately, my boss was not so happy about this. She comes up to me and she's like, Viva, like you've been sending me a lot of transgender women with no teaching experience to work here. Like, why should I hire these people? And I was like, well, Katie Ryan of Brooklyn Heights Synagogue, it's because teaching Hebrew school is a really big cultural value in the trans community. So we're all just like really good at it. Any trans person could tell you. And my boss is like, oh, like really? Like I hadn't heard about that. And I was like, yeah, like is one of the main jobs trans girls have. Like in our community, we have our coders, we have our DJs, we have our prostitutes, and we have our Hebrew school teachers. It's like the 4 things that we can do. And my boss like takes that in for a second. She's like, oh. that's why you all look like that. I was like, okay, cool, like that's connected. Um, but after that, no problems. No, I got fired actually from that place. Um, but not everyone is so on board with the like, transgender Hebrew school, whatever. Like I had this one kid, he raised his hand one time in class, 8 years old. He's like, Aviva, like Miss Aviva, like, do you support the transgenders? And I was like, yeah, like I do, right? Like, and he's like, no, but like, do you think they should have rights though? And I'm like, yeah, like probably they should have rights. Like, don't you think? He like shakes his head. He's like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, right? And I was like, after that, I didn't let him use the bathroom for the rest of the year. Like, kind of like a Uno reverse. He asked me why. I was like, I don't know, Eliezer. Like, I feel like you just like we can't really trust you in there. Like, you don't know what you're gonna do. That whole incident, it really like made me understand more why like people don't trust like trans people around their kids because like we're just a little too spiteful, like that kid might have a UTI now, for all I know, and I think that serves him right. Um, anyway, it's like we're talking about destroying America. Did you guys know? Did you guys know that there is a $31.50 9/11 tax for flying out of New York City airports? $31.50. Let that sink in. Do you know how many? That's two sandwiches in Manhattan. That's like lunch and dinner maybe. And like I just think that's really outrageous because like they're charging me this money and I didn't even get to participate in 9/11. Like I really wanted to. I was 6 months old and those towers like the ugliest fucking thing I ever saw, you know? But they were not allowing me to hijack that plane. My mom just texted me no. Um, okay. Anyway, I just don't understand. I don't participate and they're charging me $31 to fly out of JFK. That is outrageous. Anyway, not to change the subject, but it's hard not to notice, men have been coming up to me a lot lately, as I'm sure you can imagine. Um, and they just say the silliest thing. And this happens, girl, like this happens everywhere I go, right? Like, Trader Joe's, the porta potties at Tompkins Square Park, the West 4th Street subway station, obviously. Um, and these men are coming up to me and they're like, oh, like, has anyone ever told you, like, you are as beautiful as the full moon on a full moon night? Or like, has anyone ever told you you shine brighter than all the stars on a cloudless night when they're shining their brightest? Outside of the city, no light pollution. And I'm like, shut up, bitch. Just like show me your dick already. Like, you know what I want. This is the West 4th Street subway station. Like, don't waste my time like this. I have places to be. Anyway, it makes my commute take a while. I'm late for work like every day. But a lot of these men, oh, how much time do I have left, Auntie?
You have a minute.
Wait, what?
You have
What?
a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna make this quick.
Do
Um,
it.
a lot of these men, they like me because I'm Jewish, right? And that's okay. Like, I love a good bagel chaser. Like, Shabbat Chodesh Tov to all of them. And like, I love the word bagel chaser too, right? Like, works on multiple levels. Bagels are Jewish, chasers are chasers, but also bagels, like Jews, have holes, right? Is everyone following along so far? And bagels, like Jews, like, me specifically too, like we can have all sorts of things in our holes, right? Like
Mhm.
sometimes you might find sesame seeds down there, and that is totally normal. That is totally normal. That is where they come out of biologically. Same pipe. I mean, or dough, in the metaphor. But most people they like it full of cream cheese, right? But as for me, like I prefer to keep an onion up there because I like it when they cry. And a lot of people are put off by this. Like I was fucking this Kide the other day. His first time fucking a trans girl, so he's getting really emotional. And he's like, Aviva, like, I never imagined the epistemological, ontological, like panopticon of the queer experience, and I ate your ass. And I was like, calm down, Frederick. Like, you're just crying because the onion, like, it's not that deep. Like, first timers. Um, this other time, I was talking to a cis guy, and he actually thought I was a cis girl. Right, yeah, big time panopticon in my hole. Uh, as anyone would. Yeah, anyway, I was talking to this guy. He thought I was this girl, which happens to me all the time, you guys. All the time, constantly. Anyway, he asked me for a photo of my pussy. And it was a bit of an issue for me at the time because I didn't have a pussy to show him, right? And but like I'm an enterprising woman, so I covered up some stuff. I stretched out some other stuff, and I sent over a photo. And of course, the man loved this photo, right? You know, he wanted me to come over right away. And I was like, okay, like, it's time to be honest. That was the stretched out skin next to my ball sack. Like, I don't have a pussy, you know, but don't worry, like, I may not have a pussy, but I always keep an onion at my butthole. And then he blocked me. Can you believe? Anti-Semitism is everywhere. Anyway, that's my time. I've been a Viva Pro.
To Aviva Pearl, who passes. Woo! Yeah, bitch. Congrats. Is the key to passing putting the onion in?
Yeah, pretty much. When I don't have it in, I get clocked constantly.
Clocked constantly, but with the onion, not clocked.
Yeah, with the onion, unclockable.
Wow. Wow. That's an amazing side effect. Does it work
It
with
does
garlic?
not work with garlic. No, only onions. I know we Jews
anti-Semitic.
love garlic, but like not everything is about us, unfortunately.
And that
Sometimes
is
it's just the
something
onion.
important to remember generally, but in this show, definitely not true. It is all about us. Speaking of, do you want to see more gay Jews make you fucking laugh?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so our next comedian was recommended by Aviva. So if she does good, that's good for Aviva, and if not, bad for Aviva. I'm very excited to meet her right now. Oh, she's nodding. That's so good. She has a different name on Zoom, but this is the name that I was given to call out. So, can y'all put one hand and the other together for the incredible Miss Hollywood?
Hello.
Hi.
Milk. It comes from cows. They've got it and we want it. Now look, I know what you're thinking, right? It's mishpacha here. I can't stomach dairy milk. False, 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 false. It's clinically proven that milk will improve your gut health, your sex life, remove that stench from your feminine trench. When I switched from oat milk to dairy, I grew 6 cup sizes in just 2 days. I'm talking about my rack. Milk is a key ingredient in life's most divine confections, including cakes, cheeses, my ass, milk, and also my tits. I'm goo goo gaga for milk. And so are the kids. My nephew Nelson is a fruit. Not anymore. I fed him 60 ounces of dairy milk every hour on the hour. And now he's the hottest 10-year-old on this side of the Northern Hemisphere. See? You drinking your milk, sweetie? Milk. It's nutritious. It's delicious. And you can find it in a store near you. That is if Nelson hasn't gotten to it first.
Was that it? Holy fucking shit! Miss Hollywood! Fucking streaming right onto the scene! Give it up for Big Dick! Woo! Where we stand for lactose tolerance out here. It's 2024. Enough with the lactate. Enough with the oat milk. I stand with Miss Hollywood and Big Dairy. If I drank more milk, I wouldn't have turned out like this. We should feed it to ourselves and our kids. If you want bigger tits, if you want to turn straight again, Milk will do that for you. Thank you so much, Miss Hollywood. That was an amazing PS Gay. How's everybody doing? Has anybody been inspired to that is lactose intolerant to try?
I'm gonna go shit my pants later.
You're gonna go shit your pants later, Danielle?
I'm gonna drink a whole glass of milk and just have a bad time.
And you're gonna like shit out all the bisexuality?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'll
Yeah, that's what I'm
regrow your
saying.
little things.
Yeah, my little that's where I store the lactose intolerance, actually.
Did the bisexuality come with that haircut, or did it require that haircut after you decided to become bisexual?
It's like a chicken and egg situation. It's kind of hard to know, you know.
Love it.
I was born with these, so both.
For me, the egg came first, and then
I see you.
woman. Get it? Ba-boom! All right. Thank you so much, Chava. And are you ready to give more money to Cars for Kids and to us? And for your third comedian, we're just running through these comedians. Danielle, take your time. Do all the jokes you want. We're moving good. We're gonna have a nice tight hour and a half show. It's gonna be great. All these people are gonna have fun. They're learning so much about Cars for Kids, about dairy, and now about whatever the fuck Danielle is gonna do. Can you please go buck fucking wild for Danielle Upton?
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Anti-Semitism. I have no idea what you just said. My brain was on the word tight, and I was just thinking about a lot of things. But yes, the rumors are true. My name is Danielle. My last name is Ovtsin. It means of the sheep in Russian. And I always like that because it means that my ancestors were shepherds. But I also realized recently that it might mean that someone in my family tree got a little too comfortable in the sheep pen. So it's not a name as much as it is a warning. Like, do not go up the mountain with Yaroslav of the sheep, for he is reckless with the ewes. All I can say about that is that that gene has been passed down successfully. Thank you. As a joke, I'm not into bestiality. I'm into bitches, but not that kind. This is true. I am bisexual or pansexual, whichever one isn't being called transphobic on Twitter right now. And I can't always relate to other queer women, but I love our community. But I can't always relate because, like, sometimes I'll hear women talk about eating pussy, like they'll talk about moving to Australia. Like, I could see myself enjoying it down there, but I just haven't made the effort yet. I just can't relate, you know? Like no shade, but for me, dating women was like leaving my hometown. Fantasizing about this is the only thing keeping me out of the psych ward. And it's just not the same. And again, not hating. I just really need the bullying to have meant something. My parents were surprised when I came out. It was pretty early. I was 13. And I know that it's too early because if I was older than 13, I wouldn't have chosen my dad. I could have chosen someone more accepting, maybe like the Westboro Baptist Church, Nazi group, you know. But I don't blame him. I don't blame my mom. They're from another time. They were from the USSR. Okay. Like, my mom didn't even know gay people existed until she was. Guess how old she was, actually? She was 36. That's right. She incubated and birthed a queer person before she knew that they existed. And, you know, I was in the corner making my Barbie scissor and cutting their hair short. So I don't know. The signs were there. Shout out to people with weird parents. My parents are really weird. They don't tell me shit. Like, I went 27 years thinking I was purely Russian Jewish. Like, that's it. And then I found out that my mom's maiden name is Ukrainian. So I asked her, and she said, "Oh, honey, I thought you knew." And, you know, like, I thought you might be autistic. but Ukrainian was not on my list, I'll be honest. And I went to my dad and asked him, and I was talking to him and I said, "Isn't it so funny that mom didn't think to tell me she was half Ukrainian this whole time?" And he just looked at me and he said, "Oh, well, I am too. My mother didn't even speak Russian. She spoke Yiddish and Ukrainian. Like, are you kidding me? Was I supposed to figure this out? You guys aren't gay theater kids. You can't just like give me tickets to your high school production of Hairspray and hope I figure it out. Like, at least wear a blue and yellow pin or something, okay? I was in the dark. Um, so yes, I'm Jewish, as we all are. It's crazy how many Americans fucking love Israel. It's really weird to see it. Um, they're still like white Americans are still anti-Semitic, but the good thing is that the only thing they hate more than Jews is brown people. So it's like watching two bullies become best friends. Um, you were bad enough individually, but now that you're together, I think I need to move to Canada. Um, and speaking of Canada, that's actually where I'm from. I'm not American, I'm Canadian. Whoa, imposter. And being in Canada and watching the states regress is it's really weird. It's like watching your neighbor's landlord do some fucked up shit to the building over. Like this thing's been falling apart for ages, and then you catch him like digging in the front, and you think, oh my God, is he renovating or something? And then you see him putting water in this big trench, and he's putting alligators in it, and you're like, okay, he made a moat, is what he did. He made a moat. And half the people in the building are like super pro moat. You see them like wearing chainmail, they're calling each other knights, they're carrying spears. And then the other half of the people in the building just want to go about their daily life and not have to deal with a drawbridge opening and closing. It's crazy. And then the roof is still fucking leaking. So what do you do? Um, I would love to help you out, but I've noticed my landlord peeking over the fence and getting ideas. So I'm gonna focus my energy here. And I think it'll be fun to play a little game. And I think we should all play the putting a finger down game. Put a finger down if you were conscripted to the Israeli Defense Force. That's right. My big shame is that I was born in Israel and my parents moved there from the USSR. And they also moved out very quickly. And you want to know why? It's because it was too hot. And if you need any more proof that Jews don't belong in the Middle East, there's that. Um, what makes it worse is that at the time there was a government program that let couples who had trouble conceiving for their first child get a round of IVF for free. So I was quite literally created by the Israeli government. And so which I feel like this means when I got conscripted, that was the Israeli government being like, time's up. We did our part of the deal. You're 18, you survive. Go join the military. Commit genocide. Let's go. You don't want to do it? Okay, jail. Genocide or jail. Those are your two options. And it's kind of a lot to realize that you exist solely to create bodies for the IDF. But some people exist because their parents were trying to fix a failing relationship. So, everyone's got something. Um, I think I'll leave you guys with one last little story that's kind of unrelated, but I think it's funny because it hurt my feelings. And it was when I was hanging out with a friend recently, and they told me about a pussy eating workshop that they thought I should go to. And this was not them saying that we should go to this workshop together. They thought that I should go independently of them. And the only conclusion I could make is that I look like I'm really bad at giving head. And it's bad enough that others feel the need to intervene. And I would just like to say that I would rather continue to be bad at eating pussy than go to a workshop. I think women should be normalized being bad at sex. Like, women should just be allowed to be bad at sex, all right? Like, how is it that cishet guys are expected to be bad at sex, but when I do it, I have to go to a workshop? Like, this is literally unacknowledged female labor. And I will not. I also refuse to make you come, but that's unrelated. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Danielle, a literal creation of the Israeli fucking state. Holy shit. Have you gone to therapy about this?
You know what's actually so funny? My last therapist was a Zionist, so I had to stop seeing her. So I tried.
Got it, because you couldn't process your birth because she supported that whole thing. Got it.
She was like, "Oh, but you can just go and like not serve. Like you can just do paperwork or something." I was like, "Girl,
Listen,
no."
listen. You can also serve in the diaspora and not kill any bitches doing it. So that's what we're doing out here. Thank you for serving and not thank you for your service, bitch. And God bless Canada. Where are you from, Canada?
Where am I from in Canada?
Where are you from, Canada? Yes, that's how I talk.
Yes. I'm from the capital, but I live in Montreal, which is way cooler.
You're treating Americans like we know what the capital of Canada.
That's why I didn't say its name. I live in the capital, or I'm from the capital of Canada. You're not going to know what that is. So
No,
it's
say it
fine.
out loud. You can be proud. This is a safe space.
It's called Ottawa.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you need to visit? No, you don't. You can go to any museum in the States and it'll be just fine. There is one museum in Ottawa and that there's nothing else to do. That's it.
No, there's the river freezes.
Well, the last few years, because of climate change, it hasn't really frozen that well, so we haven't been able to skate on it.
But before this, let's try to find something redeeming about your hometown. Before this, it was really cool because the river would freeze and you could skate on it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not so bad being Canadian, would you say?
There used to be eels in that river, but they all got killed.
Well, this is fucking
Sorry.
boring. Never gonna have another Canadian on my set. No, thank you so much. Give it up for Danielle. And I want to give it up for one more person. Aaron, can you take center stage in your Zoom box?
Me?
Yeah, just kind of like come closer and show your face. Yeah. Can everybody please give it up for Aaron Goldstein, who was my Uncle Sam little bitch in this all promo photo?
I was the Uncle Sam little bitch. It was me. It was I.
This is Aaron, and we photoshopped out his mustache and put on a little beard, and then I punched and I abused him, and that's how we got all this promo. So give it up for Aaron's Semitic little schnoz. Do you have anything you want to say to the people, Aaron?
No.
Wow. Wow.
Not a word.
As humble as he is handsome. Too bad he's taken. Sorry, ladies and ladies. Oh, when are you gonna make me an auntie? I've been trying to get them to fuck for so long. No response once again. What does it take to get two Jews to just make a fucking baby? Do they have to be conscripted by the IDF through fucking in vitro fertilization? Is that the only way? We have to provide an alternative, Jews in the diaspora. We can't just be diasporous if the only baby is being made over there. Nice little cough from Adrian. Thank you so much. I'm glad you all agree. Okay, so now we're going to just take one little song break, and then we're going to pass it off to Iman. Can you turn on your video, Iman? Are you able to? 1 second. That's just like the next comedian. You're not able to turn on your video? Okay, cool. We'll deal with that in a second. All right. Cool. So, just before we move on to our next funny people, I'm legally obligated as a drag queen. If I'm going to be asking for money as a drag queen, I have to be singing a song for you at some point in the evening. And so this is, I know we heard one rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, but this is one that I wrote, and it's about a serious question that I face because my name's, so I'm Auntie. My pronouns are Long Island, and I was actually born in East Rochester, Long Island, and that means that I'm actually not technically American, because East Rochester is an autonomous Jewish zone. And I came to America later on. And when I got here, I met men, American men. And then what I learned after I met all these men is that they all really liked being peed on. And I was always wondering, why is it that men like being peed on so much? And I wrote this song. So if everybody can rise and take off your hats. As we stand for our national anthem. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron, you have to be posting the lyrics now. You ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
Oh, gay men love pee in their dirty little mouths. They like cum in their mouths, but they also like pee. Even straight men like pee, though it fills them with shame. They like trans women best, 'cause we have better aim. Why do men like pee on their face and body? There's a toilet right there. This will ruin your hair. Oh, maybe it's because they all have societal power. And ultimately, that power is given to them at birth, and most people aren't sociopathic and don't want to exert power over others, but still men do so because that's all they know and all they're expected to do. But at their deepest core, the only thing they want to do is divest this yoke of power they never asked for. And since getting peed on is the greatest possible debasement, it actually produces an ecstasy beyond any of the feeble orgasms they've wanked out in the past 20 years of life, because finally they get to be on the bottom. Finally, they get to be on the bottom instead of on the top, at the very bottom where a little pea pig like them deserves to be. It's where they want to be, and that's why men like pee, even though it's the prey. Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you, and God bless. God bless these United States of America. I need a smoke break. 1 second.
Thank you, Auntie Semitism.
All right. You satisfied?
Fully.
Did I do a song for you or no?
Beautiful.
Jesus Christ. Got me sweating, not even thanking me. It's so hard to be a woman in 5784. All right, so now we have an incredibly special treat for you. Hopping on to your spotlit screen is our beloved guest, somebody who has fucked and even married Jews in the past, but is not even Jewish herself, but a fellow Semite ready to rock your fucking brains out. Please give it up for the comedy stylings of Iman El Husseini.
Yeah.
This is like, I wish you were all my in-laws because I'm married to a Jewish woman and I'm Palestinian. So this is like the best. Can I say like the best Jews ever?
Yeah, you can Jews.
But I do have to say, first of all, anti-Semitism, amazing, amazing name. Wonderful. Your hosting is beyond incredible. The only thing is I can't find my headphones. And off the top, all you hear is fucking Jews this and Jews this and Jews come to ruin the country. And I'm like, what are my neighbors going to think? I'm Palestinian, for God's sake. How do I mute this? I want to hear what you're saying, but damn. So I am Palestinian, but I'll get to that a little later. I'll warm you guys up. First, I'm so happy to be on Zoom again. I never thought you guys could hear me okay, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. So this is the thing, when the pandemic started and we were doing stand-up on Zoom, I was excited about it because it made me feel like some kind of celebrity, you know, who just like won an award and couldn't show up in person, so had to send the video in, you know. It's like, thank you so much to all my fans. I'm not wearing pants right now. I do. You're gonna get like the noise of New York back there. There we go. So you guys, I am Canadian, also from Montreal. Actually from Montreal, not pretending to be. Danielle from Ottawa. I've lived in New York now for like 8 years, and I have to pay for health insurance, which is horrible, right? And I'm not used to it, and it's so expensive. And but because it's so expensive, I'm at the doctor like every other day, you know, and my GP is always like, Iman, you came for your annual already, please leave. And I'm like, but I have a flat tire. I need to get my money's worth. What is happening? What bothers me about it the most, though, is how attractive healthcare professionals are. They're so attractive and young and diverse. I'm like, I feel bad about myself being here. So you can't look like that. Like, bring back the old, ugly white man who had to get these jobs to get laid. That's what I want. I just came back from Asia. I was on a mini tour in Thailand and Vietnam. I don't know if any of you have been. It's really wonderful. The people there are very zen. Opposite of New York City, they smile at you. Like if a stranger meets your eye, they'll smile at you. Can you imagine somebody smiling at you in New York City? Like if a stranger is making eye contact with you and smiles, call the police. They're going to kill you. So the people there are really lovely, very zen, very, very gracious. They help you out a lot. The language is very hard to get though, because it's very tonal, you know. Like I remember they were teaching me how to say hello, and they're like, if you say it this way, it sounds like it would mean hello, but if you say it this way, it means go fuck your mother. And I'm like, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not. I also felt like a freaking giant, especially in Vietnam. People are tiny. They're fucking strong though, but they're very tiny. I felt like I was Godzilla, basically, because they actually told me that. One of the first women I spoke to when I checked into my hotel, she's like, "You're very big." I'm like, I don't need the hand gestures. The words have hurt enough. Let's not use the hands. The comedians in Vietnam kept telling me to take the bike ride, like their bike Uber. It's called Grab. So take the bike Grab as opposed to the car Grab, because comedians are poor there too. But this is the thing. So now I'm like the biggest person in Vietnam, and I decide, okay, I'll take a bike, and then this lovely man shows up on his moped, and he's like, like ride, like get on, because they don't speak English really. And I was like, this looks dangerous. Do you have a scale? I think you should weigh me first. I don't know about this. And then because of the language barrier, what he understood was put the helmet on her head. So he puts the helmet on my head. And now I go behind him on the bike. And I feel like, when an adult sits in a child's tricycle, this is what my legs are up in the air. It looks like I'm giving birth to the driver. This is what it looks like. So, and he could feel that I'm nervous because cars are basically grazing my knee, as we're driving. And then I'm like trying to lift my bum off the seat, sucking in my stomach as if that will make a difference. So he goes, where are you from? He feels I'm nervous. Where are you from? I'm like, I'm from nowhere. Just keep going straight. I'm like, do not talk to me, And then he goes, no, come on. Where are you from? Where are you from? And I don't know if it's because I panicked or I genuinely forgot, but I said Brazil. I'm not from Brazil. I've never been to Brazil. I don't know anybody from Brazil. But you know what? It ended the conversation right there. He had no follow-up questions because I think they're used to like America or Canada, but Brazil kills conversations. The other thing about Asia, you guys, is if they ask you if you're a foodie, say no. Say no right away. They took me, so they're like, are you a foodie? I'm like, yeah. I love food so much. And the truth is I like spicy food and my friends are white. Like this is the extent of me being a foodie. So they take me to this restaurant and they're like, oh, by the way, there's blood in the soup. And I'm like, did the chef cut his finger? Like, why is there blood in the soup? And they're like, no, it's cow's blood. And I'm like, did the cow cut her finger? Like, what is happening here? And he's like, and by the way, you could get, with this option, with this soup, you could get, so it's like, these are the options, cow's blood or chicken testicles. And I'm like, first of all, I had no idea chicken, I thought they were female. I had no idea they had testicles. That's number one. Number two, I don't want testicles in real life. Definitely not in my soup. You know what I mean? That's hot soup, sweaty chicken. Anyway. But it did disappoint me that I'm not like, I don't take as many risks as I did with food. Like when I was younger, now I'm like very years old. So my digestive system is like practically Jewish, honestly. I can't eat spicy food anymore. I want everything to be bland. And this is when I wanted to punch myself in the face, was when I went to a restaurant. And I don't know why I defer to Spanish when I'm in a foreign country, right? Like instead of, it's like English or Spanish for me for some reason, although I speak French. But I'm in Vietnam and we go to a restaurant and I actually asked the waiter, muy picante. Why am I speaking Spanish with him? When did I become one of the 53% of white women who voted for Trump? You guys, muy picante. And I actually did this. I did this. Oh, I hate myself. But I basically want to talk about my trip in Asia because it was like insanity. And when I talk about it in Asia, people are like, what are you talking about? But you guys will get me. Then the worst thing that I did was ask somebody where the washroom was. And because for some reason we think English is like a universal language, when somebody doesn't understand me, I just say the words louder. Like it doesn't make a difference. They don't get what I'm saying. So loud, being like, where is the washroom? If they don't get it, they don't get it, you know? But I got so embarrassed because the guy knew how to speak English perfectly. He actually like responded to me with a British accent. I wish I could do accents. He was like, oh, you're looking for the loo. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking to kill myself. I can't believe I was so ignorant. I also got high in Vietnam. No, was it in Thailand? In Thailand, because they're so cheap
Ooh.
there. So this is the thing. So in Vietnam, they're like really cool. They're very strong. They're very efficient. They're very a lot of positive things. The food is good if you go to like Chipotle. And no, I'm kidding. The food is really good. But Thailand, they're really chill. I just noticed like an extra pile of chill. And I found out it's because they were never colonized. That's why they're so happy. They're poor and happy, and they're smiling all the time because they haven't been infected with whiteness. How great is that? Okay, medium. Everybody's white. That's not a good. Okay. So, I got high. Okay. So I'm like not big on drugs. I've always kind of been a drinker, but not, not big on weed until the pandemic happened. This is why I gained 30 pounds and weed became legal and delivered to your house. I discovered gummies. So I gained 30 pounds. So I'm not like used to getting high. So now I'm with young comics who are half my age, basically. And they're like, Iman, do you want to go to a lesbian bar and get high? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I go out with them and I really felt like I was basically their grandmother because every 2 seconds they were just like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fucking fine. Okay. So, but at one point, like the third time they asked me if I was okay, I'm like, guys, I'm fine. What is the problem? But then I got up from my chair and I wasn't okay at all. So I was like, guys, call me a car immediately. I'm not taking one of your bikes. I want a car to take me back to the hotel. And so they put me in a car. And now I'm sitting in the car convinced I'm being kidnapped. So now I'm like freaking out. I'm texting the comedians in our group and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys, but I'm being kidnapped right now and I'm freaking the fuck out. And they're like, they're trying to be non-judgmental and sweet. And they're like, what do you mean exactly? Like there's no, and then I'm yelling at the driver to be like, where are you taking me? Where are you taking me? And he's not responding. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, he's not responding because I am being kidnapped and this is what's happening. And at one point he starts texting and I'm like, oh my God, he's texting them. Who's them? We don't know. He's texting them that they got me and we're on the way. And I'm just like losing it. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm getting kidnapped. And I'm like, sir, just please tell me where you're taking me. And then I realized very quickly that the poor guy was trying to navigate and drive while going on Google Translate to let me know he's just dropping me off at the hotel. I sponsor him and his family now. The currency there is also ridiculous. Like you go to the bank, you give them $100, they give you a briefcase. Everything's like millions and hundreds of thousands of whatever their currency is. And I really what I love the most not the most, I shouldn't say that, but I love their greeting. Like I can't believe we went through a pandemic and we still shake hands after like everything that happened. So I love that they do the why, right? I don't know if you guys, the why. I used to do it a lot during the pandemic, like namaste away from me, they do it. And the higher the why is, the more respect they have for you. So I go to this restaurant that was so crappy, but it had such high reviews because everybody's like, Michelin star on the street, Michelin star all over. So I go to this restaurant. I was really disappointed. The waitress comes to the table. She's like, did you enjoy your food? I'm like, not at all. And she's like, okay, well, thank you for coming. She gives me the bill. And I was going to tip her, obviously. She was lovely. It's not her fault. So I tip her. And I guess like I wasn't keeping track of the currency exactly. And I must have tipped her a lot. Because like I told you guys, the higher it goes, the more respect. She got a ladder. I got up. Everybody bowed down to me. I'm the president of Thailand, is basically what I'm telling you. Now, what's it called? So I am Palestinian. It's obviously a terrible time to be Palestinian. I'm gay married, which is weird because I'm straight. And no, I am gay married. I'm very gay. I'm very gay. I'm gay separated, I gotta say. I have a Jewish wife, which yeah, that's everybody's like, oh, you guys, are you guys breaking up because of what's happening in the Middle East? That it must be. I'm like, no, 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 no. My wife made me gay. I made her pro-Palestinian. So this is what. But I'm like, you know what it was? It was working together. Working together. If you never want to have sex with your partner again, work with them. It's so, and Harry and I are so different. We're so different. We look different. We're very different, which was complementary before we worked together. But then it became a disaster because she's what do you call it? She's a perfectionist. I don't even know the word, you see? And I'm more of like, my first draft is the final draft. I don't, and she used to be a war crimes lawyer for the United Nations. I was a war criminal. That's how. But it was so crazy during the pandemic and like really made me so sad because we had like a honeymoon stage for like 8 years, which is unheard of. But during the pandemic, it was just like the same face all the time. And it's a beautiful face. I married that face. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with that face. But when it's the only face for 2.5 years, I'm like, can we, I don't know, call the landlord to come over or something? Maybe we should pay rent again. I don't know. I got depressed. I got depressed, which I didn't know what that was. I'm ethnic, you guys. I'm not, somebody tells me they're depressed. I'm like, you want to go eat something? I have no idea. I'm not as progressive as I should be. Like, I love gender reveal parties still, I do. I get so excited. And let me tell you, like I'll throw them another one if they want to switch, no problem. Like they turn 16 and you're like, sweet 16. Oh, let's see, still a boy. That's too bad. Yeah. Not very progressive. I think pit bulls are not cute at all. Whatever, I said it. So I didn't realize what was happening to me with the depression. I did not know what was going on. I was like crying out of nowhere. Well, it's not out of nowhere, obviously, but like for me, I was just like, why am I crying for no reason? What is happening? Is this a COVID symptom? Like, what is going on? So I called one of my white friends and I was like, hey, you know how like you cry even when things are okay? What is that called? And she goes, oh, you have depression. And I got so upset. I had to call my parents to be like, which one gave me this thing? So I called my parents and this is like, and don't forget, this is like me telling my parents I'm depressed, my Palestinian parents who escaped war twice in their lifetime. I'm going to call them and say I'm depressed. This is me coming out for like the third time, basically. Like first comedian, then gay, and now depressed. My father got so offended. He's like, you're depressed? You're depressed? Maybe you're depressed because you're gay. Did you think about that? And I'm like, oh my God, that's... My dad is very proud of being Muslim, although he's not religious like at all. He just really loves being Muslim. And we always have discussions about the religion. I mean, there's a lot of things that I love about it, just like anything else. Communism could look good on paper, Islam, Judaism, whatever it is, people just ruin everything. But I'm trying to have a debate with him. And I'm like, I just don't like how it's like not a feminist religion. He's like, it's not feminist. I'm a feminist. My father thinks he's a feminist because he's married to one woman and not 4. This is... I do wonder about how, like, when the religion started, how it was like so strict. I do like a lot of things about it. Praying 5 times a day is actually really good. It's like Muslim yoga, you take a break and you're like going up and down and whatever. But I don't like, I just imagine when the Prophet Muhammad came around and was just like, okay, guys, gather around. These are the new rules. No alcohol, no pork. And then I'm like, can I at least be a lesbian? He's like, nope. But your husband can have 3 other wives. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, do we live together? Sign me up. What else? I feel like I've been talking for an hour and a half. How am I? What is it? More, less?
You're over.
I'm done. Okay, well, guys, thank you for not interrupting me because I'm Palestinian and you probably feel guilty. Thank you.
That's exactly it. I was like, am I allowed to take space from a Palestinian? Probably not.
You won't give me a light. You won't tell me to leave. I love it.
I did send you multiple private messages. I was trying.
You know what? I'm like too distracted by my face.
There was a whole Oslo Accords peace process happening in the chat. You didn't really show up, but
I see 42 new messages. Jesus Christ, I really did not see that.
Please give it up for Amon!
Woo! Woo! Thank you!
Lesbian! Depressed! Welcome to the family, baby! Food issues now. Like you and your wife have really been in an exchange, huh? You're really kind of like becoming each other in little ways.
Are we?
I guess not. Okay.
I'm like, we're so different. I wish she was a bit more like me. That's for sure. She's always like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not fun. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm too much fun. I don't know.
Well, she is basically considered a member of Hamas on
I know. That made me really proud, I gotta say. I'm very proud of her work out there. Yeah, she's killing it. Yeah. So I have to keep up the good lesbian work out there while she's doing the pro-Palestinian stuff. Ladies.
She's like the lesbian community interfacer for hot. It's really beautiful. Okay, please give it up one more time for Aman El Hussein.
Yes.
Let's go, Semites. Let's go, Semites. Woo! Down with America. Let's things that Aman El Husseini's neighbors shouldn't be hearing.
People get more offended insulting Israel than insulting America in America. It's so crazy.
It is literally illegal. Like I've burned in more American flags than I'm allowed to burn Israeli flags just on this thing already. All right. So that was 4 out of the 5 funny, gay, she, hers that I have for you tonight. Are you ready for the 5th babe to come bless this stage and play us out this evening? Well, she's looking dykey. It's all fucking hell. Thank you for one lesbian actually showing up with a cutoff in uniform, Adrian. Thank you. Please give it up for Adrian.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I figured I'd come with this, and I'm wearing to Amon's I'm wearing no pants. They're my boxer briefs because I'm gay. What's up, America? America. I am so nice to see you, Amon. Me and Amon have worked together a few times, and I miss her and I miss her wifey because we are Canadian. I'm coming from Toronto, actually. I'm not even in the States. So fuck America. I did see your that presidential debate was insane. Watching two white old men fight over their golf stroke made me proud to be Canadian. I am Jewish, but I guess I don't really identify I was born Jewish, but I don't identify with that. With it, I don't follow up. I don't prescribe to it. It's traditions, I guess. But my eldest sister is an Orthodox Jew, so things are tense in our family. Uh, she's got 5 kids. 5 kids, yeah, and I love some of them. That's why you have 5, because it's a numbers game at that point. Couple are duds, but a few of them are cool. But yeah, I'm doing good. It's nice to be invited into this. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is dope. Thanks, Anti-Semitism. This is really fun. You guys are crazy out there. Yeah, it's nice to be here, man. I've been doing good. I wasn't doing so good. I mean, things are tense, but I wasn't doing so good there for a little bit. Me and my lady, we split ways back in January, which sucked. Because breakups suck. We all know breakups suck, but this one hurt. This one I felt like I lost like half my heart and half my soul. Like I really felt like I lost like half my rent. Like it was fucked up. It's crazy. I don't know what rent is like. I mean, in New York, I imagine it's similar to Toronto, but you cannot live above ground and be single in Canada, in Toronto. And I'm like, do I just get back together with this broad? Friends like, nah, you gotta find true love. I'm like, do I want true love or natural light? Like the things you gotta consider. But I'm doing good. I wasn't doing good there for a bit. I kind of needed it's crazy to me that we don't teach people how to be, we don't in school, we don't teach people how to be in relationships. That's not something we teach. And it's wild to me because it's something that we all experience. We don't teach people how to be in relationships, and we don't teach people how to get out of relationships. And it's such an unnatural feeling to break up with someone, right? It's like, okay, this is someone who I care deeply about. This is someone who I've been like taking care of, and now it's like, and now I'm just gonna gently stare at them and tell them to go fuck themselves. Like how do you break up with someone? So I sought out therapy. You guys ever heard of? I think you do have this in the States. It's an American company. You guys ever heard of BetterHelp? BetterHelp, yeah, yeah. It's an online therapy. I mean, it's kind of like the Walmart of therapies, to be honest. Like. It's not good. I mean, it's in the title, right? They're like, well, we're not the best help. But I mean, you called us, so we're doing better than you. How's that? I got paired up with this woman named Kathy, and she was the total BetterHelp experience. Like this bitch, she was telling me all about her, her qualifications, which weren't real. She's like, I used to walk dogs. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that counts. And then she goes, do you have any questions for me? And so, I was trying to establish a relationship with this person. So I was just like, oh, like, how are you doing today? Thinking she would be like, good, thanks. And then on with the paid therapy session. This bitch like leaned into it. She was like, well, Adrian, having a bit of a tough day. I was like, what? Like, when like I felt like she like broke the fourth wall of therapy, like she like stared directly into the camera. I was like, oh, okay. Go on. Like, what do you say to that? She's like, well, it's winter out. It's gray outside. The whole city shut down. It's just kind of getting me down. I'm like, do you have someone to talk to? Like, what are we doing here? Anyways, and I get it, like I feel like seasonal affect disorder, especially in Canada, in Toronto, it's a real thing. In any of the cold states, like it's a real thing. People experience it, seasonal affect disorder, which is why I feel like we're not doing ourselves any favors by calling it by its cute little acronym. You guys know it? SAD, right? It's like SAD. It's like I feel like it really like undermines the severity of the disorder, of the disease. It's like, oh, I'm having a really tough time. I can't get out of bed. I'm sad. I'm depressed. Everything's great. Like, I don't feel motivated. And everyone's like, oh yeah, okay, well, you sound sad, like I feel like that's like calling Alzheimer's like forgetsies, like It needs a little more weight, you know? At one point, Kathy she goes to me, so I think a lot of you on this chat will like this. She goes, so what's it like being a lesbian? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I don't know, two women together. I don't know. I feel like it'd be easier. And I was like, okay. She goes, I wish there was a camp that turns you gay. Like, okay. Well, first of all, Kathy, a camp that turns you gay is just called camp. We all went. Everyone here went to camp. And secondly, I think we're done here, Kathy. I got to go get some better help. I do, I do think it's good that therapy is becoming destigmatized. I think a lot of people are going to therapy now and talking about it, and I think that's a good thing because I don't think we're doing well as a society. Canada, US, I think we're sick, and I know this because I got front row seats to just kind of how not well we're doing. I had a video that went viral and the comment section, as I'm sure some of you experienced before on social media, the comment section was insane. It was wild to me. It was disturbing. The joke was about me being a vegetarian, and someone on the chat was like, I don't think anyone should ever eat meat. And then people were just angry. That's all people just want to be pissed. So they were like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And like one person was like, I think everyone should eat meat. And then people were like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Then like one person said the word trans, and everyone's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like it's insane. People just want to fight. That's the thing. We figured out the internet before we figured out how to love ourselves. So we're globally connected and just pissed about it. Like we don't know how to handle it. We're fighting all the time. Over what? What are we fighting about? Over religion, over a god, right? Over a sky daddy, right? Like that's what this whole thing is that it's my sky daddy is better than your sky daddy for centuries and centuries and centuries. It's like, come on, people, like wake up. Wake up. Like, did you know that we're flying through space at 77,000 kilometers an hour? Isn't that wild? You guys think you're all like at home in your bedrooms. I can see some of you. Nah, man. Like you're in space. And for some reason that thought like calms. All right, kilometers, that's not for you guys. Right.
No, it's okay. We're destroying
Are you guys with me?
We're destroying America, babe.
Yeah, fuck your system.
Every time you say fucking kilometer, the border of Canada goes a mile south and we decrease in size. So that's like a big win for you.
Perfect. I'm happy you guys are still with me. It calms me down. That thought calms me down because whenever, like, as a comedian, as all the comics on here, I'm an entertainer, so we have to be on social media, and social media it provokes a lot of anxiety. My name on social media, if you guys want to follow me, is at Adrian Fishy Fish Fish. Don't add an extra fish. That account is fucked. But at Adrian Fishy Fish Fish is me. But we have to be on there, right? And it's kind of wild because it causes anxiety. I'm like, oh, I got to get on social media. I got to increase my social media following. I start to feel the anxiety rev up. I'm like, whoa, like, nah, man, like you're in space, And I feel like we got to remind each other of that, especially now. Like if you see someone and they're driving and they've got crazy road rage, it's because they're lost in the story of their mind, right? They're not actually present, right? So to help them out. Be like, yo, man, this would be crazy in America, but you'd be like, yo, man, roll down your window. And they're like, what? Like, you're in space. I think it's needed. I think now it's needed, especially. 50 football fields is a second.
No, I'm saying I'm trying to give a measurement to somebody who's like, I don't understand kilometers per hour, so I'm trying to put it in like a
Gotcha.
measurement for Americans.
Gotcha. 70,000 kilometers an hour is a fucking fast. Yeah, okay. So I'll end on this. I'll tell you guys this little story. which some of you are going to be a little surprised about, and it's an interesting one to bring to a gay show. But you ready for this, guys?
Please.
You ready?
Please. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I recently strap in. I recently started dating men. I know, I can see by your faces. I know, and people do not like it. People really do not like it. Like I've never faced homophobia in my life, but I am legit facing heterophobia. Legitimately. People are pissed. They're like, men, like, and I get, like, I am praying this is a phase that I grow out of because, like, this, thanks, Aman, this is some crazy shit. Like, picture, like, the conversations I have with dudes, like, God damn, there are some dumb motherfuckers out there, okay? Like, whenever I go on a date with a dude, I always like to tell him, I'm like, just so you know, my preference is women. I've always dated women. I'm just kind of experimenting with men. And guys do this thing where they're like, okay, 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 okay. So you needed to come back to my dick. It's like, nah, man. I didn't need to come back to your dick. Like, I have my own dick, right? I have my own dick. So strap on, 7.5 inches, nice girth, feels good. And guys are like, it's not the same thing. Not the same thing as a real deal. I was like, it's true. It's not the same thing as the real deal. But here's the difference between my dick and men's dicks, okay? Men's dicks, this is educational. Men's dicks ejaculate. And that shit is fucking gross, man. It's gross. Like, I'm new to the game and I'm like, okay, ladies, like, we're just putting up with this bullshit. This is crazy to me. Like, there is birth control. How is there not jizz control? How is that not a thing? Right? Like, where it's just like sparkles or or confetti or like, or what if it whistled? Can you imagine if it was like or like imagine, okay, if their song came out, the guy's like, oh my God, I'm gonna come. And then it's like, come on, Eileen. And everyone's like, ah, you know, way better. I was I was shagging this dude. I was fucking this gentleman, or he was fucking me. I don't know, things were going in and out. And he jizzed on me, which like I totally get. I get it. Like it's like the finale, right? And I did the thing, you know, the thing, ladies, that you're supposed to do, and you go, you know, that thing where you know, and the guy's like, yeah, and you're like, okay, I did it, and I sold the performance, okay, I was like, yay, okay, but then, okay, he started rubbing it around.
Oh.
Yes. Like I'm like his own little like toaster strudel, you know? He was like, ah. And then he started putting paper towel on me. I'm like, is this paper mache? Like, what the fuck are we doing? It's gross. I mean, I feel like I toggle between the two, you know? That's like, you know, and you know what? Fuck it, right? And sometimes you gotta try shit. You know, we've all been, I feel like that's part of life, right? Because in 4.7 billion years, the sun is gonna evaporate the earth. So like none of this actually matters. None of it really matters. Not in a way that's like none of this matters, but in a way that's like, this is it. This is life. This is all there is. This is love. That's why you gotta love each other, you know? And you know, if all else fails, just jizz on someone and rub it all over. Who really gives a shit? You guys have been a really nice little audience. I appreciate you guys so much. This is a really fun way to end out my week. So thank you guys so much for having me. Adrian Fish. Peace and love, guys.
Thank you.
Give it up! It be your money to us! Woo! Yeah, Adrian, that's a huge drop. Is this public yet that you're like a practicing bisexual now?
It is public. I've mentioned it at some shows, but
Wow.
I did just meet a lady. And we're just kind of like easy, you know,
Okay.
going slow. But yeah.
Several things. First of all, It's slightly problematic that your last name's Fish. That is an appropriation of trans women's culture. Second of all, if you're looking, not every trans girl has a girl dick. Not everybody's walking around saying that it is that. But for the girls who have a girl dick, if you're looking for something to fuck you and nothing comes out at the end, like everything's been saying in the chat, there is an anti-jizz drug called estradiol, bitch, called spironolactone. It's amazing. No, you get hard and no cum comes out.
What?
Yeah, bitch, fuck a trans woman. We are turning. Okay, listen. Here's what we have to do. For every fucking dyke in your situation who goes, experiments with men, and gets turned off by the jizz, we bring them back to trans lesbianism through this PSA. I need you, Adrian, to fucking spread the good word that there are fucking hung ass bitches ready to dick you down, girl dick you down, with nothing at the end. Nothing at the end, babe.
Okay, good to know. This is educational for me too.
Listen, we are here at Milk and Meat. We're really here for education. Please give it up for Adrian Fish with the name. Fucking, you're assigned trans woman at birth with the last name Fish. And please give it up for trans women and for estradiol. All fans of trans women, please clap it up. And please. Fucking, oh my God, that's good. Ari, all meat, no milk. That's the trans women way, baby. Yeah. Woo! Got those Hebrew nationals on deck. How has it been for everybody? Everybody feeling good?
Yes.
Everybody, America? Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
Please give it up for all of the amazing comedians that you've seen tonight, for Aviva, for Miss fucking Hollywood with that amazing PSA, for Danielle Often, our resident IDF soldier. Thank you. You're so amazing. To Iman, who bravely was on a Zoom show with IDF soldier Danielle Often. Really brave of her. And to Adrian Fish, who's now off screen going to transwomenmeet.com. Oh my God, is anybody gonna fuck me and not come at the end? Can't wait for this new chapter of your life, Adrian. And I'm gonna end my time because I am just, I know we've said a lot of bad things about America, but America's birthday was recent. And I just think as we go, I'm going to put on one more rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Actually, I'll do that in a second. But let's light a few birthday candles and just sing happy birthday to this great nation of ours. Just lighting a few of its flags on fire. All right. So. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to America. You let Jews in. That was a mistake. Thank you so much. We destroyed America. I'm going to put on Jimi Hendrix's rendition of the Star Spangled Banner and fuck up my room a bunch more for your amusement. My name is Auntie Semitism. You can find us on Instagram and everything. It's still burning. That's really a good. Oh my God, it just fell. Okay, we're gonna fix that in a second. Please donate and fucking kill your president. Thank you all. Happy July 4th. Destroy America. Oh, that's good. Okay, 1 second. Let's allow everybody to unmute themselves. Yay! Hi, last 20 people.